Hello again, YouTubers. I'm with SpongeBob11 back here again on the SpongeBob channel. Today is December 31st, 2022, the last day of the year, and as is the tradition on the channel, I always do a wrap-up of SpongeBob in the year, reviewing key events in the SpongeBob realm, and this time we're talking about 2022. But before we begin, I really want to thank you guys for all the new support. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers. You can see right here, 19.9 thousand subscribers, so really cool. I was hoping to get to 20,000 by the end of the year, but you know, this is still really awesome. So to everyone who's subscribed recently, thank you very much. With that out of the way, let's talk about what happened in 2022. Starting off with the new episodes, which is of course the core of SpongeBob, considering it is fundamentally an animated TV show. We had a total of 6.5 new 22-minute episodes in the main series. 6 from Kamp Koral, released specifically on Paramount Plus in September, and 5 from the Patrick Star Show. The first half of the year was actually somewhat happening. We had that whole month of main series premieres in late April to May, as well as a couple of consistent premieres from the Patrick Star Show. However, the second half of the year was somewhat of a drought aside from the new episodes of Kamp Koral. And November was actually supposed to be a big month for new episodes, but all of which was postponed, including the Tidal Zone. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Also, we did get the Twas Was the Night Before SpongeMob special, which I honestly don't count as new or useful since it was just a compilation of past Christmas-themed moments from the show. In terms of merchandise, there were some really decent collabs, but none of which really stood out. We did get the release of Kamp Koral Season 1 Volume 1, as well as the Patrick Star Show Season 1 Volume 1 on DVD, which is absolutely awesome. Super cool. As well as some main series DVD compilations on the other hand, which were not so cool. On the video games end, we had some very notable collabs with Minecraft and Fall Guys, along with Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, Slime Speedway, and the relatively miserable SpongeBob Solitaire Pants game on Apple Arcade. Also, we did get the first new SpongeBob book series in a very long time, SpongeBob Mysteries. I will be reviewing the first book in that series really soon, so stay tuned for that. But now, looking forward, what can we expect from 2023? There are quite a few things scheduled for January. Here on Nickelodeon Press, again, this was announced in mid-December, and basically, the Tidal Zone will be premiering on Friday, January 13. So they will be premiering all segments of Tidal Zone on January 13, as well as reruns on 14 and 15. And yeah, that's basically really cool. We finally get it with segments from the main series, Kamp Koral, and the Patrick Star Show. And what we are not getting just yet are the SpongeBob and Patrick Star Show episodes that were pulled from November 2022. But aside from the lack of scheduling, we do have the episode titles for the rest of Season 13 along with Kamp Koral and the Patrick Star Show. So some of these titles and synopsises sound really interesting. Alright, so let's first take a look at Season 13 of the main series. So we already know about 279 and 280. Moving on here, 281, Salty Sponge, Karen for Spot, Arbor Day Disarray. This one I didn't really get it, but okay. Ain't the Tooth, on Pause Big Koral. So we finally get to see SpongeBob's parents again. The Yellow Pavement. This sounds like Boat Smarts, which, you know, I kind of liked that episode. It was a little bit funny and different. So the Flower Plot, not so stoked about this one. I mean, like, really, a charming new owner. SpongeBob's on Parade. So yeah, you know, annual Bikini Bottom Parade. Delivery to Monster Island. Monsters again, eh? Ride Patrick Ride. And then they should have one where Patrick attempts to teach SpongeBob to drive. Hot Cross Nuts. Okay. Sea Urchin and Snailfail Show, which I actually am quite interested in because, you know, the What I Do thing was just so silly and funny at the same time. Friendiversary. This one I was quite surprised because it's SpongeBob celebrating anniversary of his friendship with Squidward, not Patrick, which is good that it's not always about Patrick and, you know, Squidward gets the limelight again, but he also gets the limelight in a couple more episodes, Mandatory Music. So Squidward's lack of talent lands him in a court-ordered music class, which sounds really funny, and is kind of the opposite of Professor Squidward, if you think about it. So now he has to take a music class. Dopey Dick. Well, okay, Squidward's joining a crew of sailors. Yeah, Plankton and the Beanstalk doesn't sound very interesting because, I mean, this is basically the adaptation, another one of Karen's fairy tales, right? Gary's Playhouse, SpongeBob building a snail house outside for Gary. And fun believable. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Rube. I think they're just using him unnecessarily, like trying to insert secondary I mean, he's not even a secondary character, but he's basically one of those background characters that appeared once and they're just trying to drill him in as much as possible, just like Slappy. I don't like this idea of trying to make these guys appear so many times. I don't see the point of it, but that is what they are doing as the final episode of season 13. Moving on to Kamp Koral, we do have 7 more episodes in season 1. As you can see, they are, kind of similar to SpongeBob episodes. So the way I see it is SpongeBob and Kamp Koral are kind of the same thing, but with different animation styles and different contexts. The Patrick Star Show is on its own realm, basically. And of course, we do have a couple of very interesting ones. Here, are you smarter than a smart cabin? Of course, are you smarter than the 5th grader is the inspiration for the title. Deep Sea Despot sounds pretty interesting. And Craig Mamelton learns what it's like to not be the best at something. That's interesting because it doesn't really show that Craig in Kamp Koral is always great at everything, right? Patrick takes a cake. I like this title. Patrick and a cake hide out in the wilderness. So very strange episode, but okay. And then, of course, Sandy spending a night at a trawler cabin. Hats off to space in a nutshell. Yeah, and so the Gnarly and Nobby things, again, not a fan of them, but they are there. The Patrick Star Show. So we have an entire season of unpremiered episodes from the Patrick Star Show right now. Okay, we have 13. And there's probably no way they're going to premiere all of these in 2023 because there's just too many along with season 13 of the main series, right? So Kamp Koral, at least they can release it all in one batch, maybe in June or something, but Patrick Star Show a little bit too much. So we've got plenty of very interesting summaries, some of which that I think is pretty interesting. So we've got Hostapalooza, we've got Space Affair to Remember, and Home Ec. Well, okay, Squidina hosts a television show to pass a home economics class. It's kind of the other way around, right? But okay. We've got Neptune's Ball, so we get to see King Neptune again. The Starry Awards makes sense because Patrick is a TV host, so he gets to host an award ceremony as well. And then Bubble Bass reviews Patrick's prison pals. So Bunny brings Patrick to prison for Bring Your Kid to Work Day. So it's interesting because we never really get told that Bunny actually works in a prison. So that's interesting. And of course, Blorp's Giving sounds pretty funny as well. Doc Cuizar is back. But yeah, so those are the episodes that we could possibly look forward to. It's not guaranteed that all of these will be premiering in 2023, but still, some of these are really exciting. So the second elephant in the room for 2023 is, of course, the Cosmic Shake video game. It finally launches on January 31st, 2023, and the hype for this game is real. This is the first time since perhaps Creature from the Krusty Krab and Atlantis Scorpantis where I actually feel super excited for a new SpongeBob video game experience. And while I know it's better to temper expectations, it's just been so long since we saw a fresh and competent looking SpongeBob video game that I can't help but expect lots from it. But from recent trailers and preview of the Pirate Goo Lagoon level, it looks like my expectations will be met and even exceeded. So nothing to worry about here. I will be live streaming the game and doing other videos for it once it drops, so stick around for plenty of Cosmic Shake content. I should note that while SpongeBob Krusty Cook-Off is already available, the physical release is coming on February 21st, 2023 as well, so I'll be picking up that for the clip. On January, I must say that as of now, we don't really know what to expect aside from new episodes that will be scheduled for premieres later in the year, as discussed earlier, as well as the Sandy Cheeks movie, Saving Bikini Bottom, which is slated for a 2023 release. Now that's a pretty big one. There's also the Plankton movie, which we haven't gotten confirmation of when it will actually be releasing, as well as the unnamed third movie, which will be dropping probably in 2024. One thing that I have to put in the not sure category is a season 13 DVD release in 2023. As I mentioned earlier, there are still 11 full episodes in the list, 279 to 289. We know 279 is premiering in January, but the rest don't have any scheduled dates yet. So will they manage to premiere all of those plus finish premiering Kamp Koral Season 1 and from the Patrick Star Show as well? Very unlikely. There's always a chance we could get DVD premieres again, but I am not counting on that. So what do you hope to see in the world of SpongeBob in 2023? Let me know in the comments box below. Make sure to subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys next year. And again, thank you guys so much for the support in 2022. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. And 2023 is going to be really fun. So till next video, see you guys later. Bye.